Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty, my pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightbreeze Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her. And honestly, I really want to know more about Aiden now. I want to figure out what their deal is.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana. My pronouns are she, her. I play Alara Spinelspark, whose pronouns are also she, her. And I want this to be over. I don't know what's going to happen. Just kidding. Yes, I do. We already finished the whole arc.
JK, LOL.
We just forgot to do intros.
Hello, everyone. My name is Waira. My pronouns are she, they. And I play Varys, whose pronouns are he, they. And I wanna, when do we get to meet Aiden and Avery? I just want to talk. It's fine.
I just want to talk with my fists.
Yeah.
A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, after taking a moment to heal from their wounds, Varys and Ivy stalked after the people who took Alara, while Alara used one of her bug bots to cast heat metal on Gringor's armor. Though she failed another escape attempt, the injury slowed them down, and with Wolf, Ivy, and Varys silently stalking their prey, the group was lulled into a false sense of security. They decided to make camp, and Varys took the opportunity to shapeshift into a child pretending to be lost in the woods. After passing some performance and deception checks, Minnie told the child he could stay and sent him to bed, while Alara tried to make sense of why they took her. Minnie divulged that Aiden's mother, Avery, wanted to speak to her. She knew about the jacket and the rune book, and she wanted to know where Aiden had disappeared to again. Alara swore she didn't know where Aiden was and told them to take her things and just leave her, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. When Minnie asked about Alara's new friends, Alara spoke of some of the awful things both the wolf and Varys had done, which prompted Varys to pop out of the tent, shift back to their menacing form, while Wolf Ivy, who was hiding in the brush, pounced on Minnie. While Alara tried to get everyone to talk, Nate threw an ice knife directly at her left hand, resulting in a bad injury and leaving Varys seeing red. Minnie and the wolf went head-to-head, and Varys struck Nate down, only halting a killing blow when Alara begged them to stop. In a show of good faith, Alara stabilized Nate, and in response, Minnie conjured 6 daggers, and we pick up now with the halfling aiming them all at Alara.
So you all watch as Minnie conjures these daggers out of the thing that's on her wrist, and all 6 of these daggers go flying straight towards Alara. I'm gonna roll. Okay, 4 of the 6 daggers hit. Let's see, for 11 piercing damage. As 2 of the daggers lodge into your stomach, 1 grazes your arm, and 1 slices you on the shin. The other 2 just go wide. And you feel a burning as the poison begins to seep into your bloodstream for 4 points of poison damage.
Okay. I'm still up, but I look fucked up. I think she looks down at the daggers as they kind of plunge into her stomach, and then she looks up at Ivy, and she looks at Varys as her vision swirls, kind of the poison is taking hold, and she falls down to her knees.
Okay, so with the rest of her turn, Minnie starts stalking forward, not even remembering that Ivy is behind her, and Ivy's going to take an attack of opportunity.
Got her.
That hits. Okay. Plus 3. 11 points of damage as she grazes Minnie, who is now up in melee with you, Alara. And that is going to be Nate's turn. Nate, give me a death saving throw.
He's stabilized.
Nate, don't give me a death saving throw. Forgot about that.
I don't know if he gets to roll anything to see if he wakes up, but...
I say do it.
Yeah. Roll me a constitution check. 13 or higher, you're awake.
That's what I was thinking, 13.
I got a 14 on the die, so... And he's got plus 3 to con, so he's definitely up.
He gasps awake.
And you could use a bonus action if you want, I would say.
Yeah.
I think you hear the sound of a cork on cork. As he reaches into his pocket and just fucking chugs a potion. I think he's gonna chug the greater. So he's up to 18 now.
Nice.
He still looks fucked up, but he looks like he just came back from the brink of death, but he's up. I think he's going to use half his movement to stand.
That is Ivy. The wolf lunges forward, and I think she is going to clamp down on Minnie's arm, the one with the bracer, and cast Inflict Wounds.
Oh.
So you watch as she clamps down, and this black necrotic sludge starts seeping into Minnie's skin as I roll an attack. That is definitely going to hit. That's a 19. So that's a 26. Yeah, that hits. So she's going to take 3d10.
Ooh, Minnie.
That's 22 points of damage. Minnie is down.
Okay.
So you watch as this black necrotic sludge seeps into Minnie's skin, and she just drops to the ground. And Ivy is
amazing,
holding on.
So Minnie is just unconscious at this point.
Currently, yes. That is Gringor's turn.
Oh boy. Baby boy, Gringor.
What is Gringy gonna do?
Varys is looking healthy.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
How's the wolf looking? I don't know how you would gauge.
She's got a bit of a chip where Minnie
Dug in.
got her the first time, but she's okay.
Okay. I think that Gringor has a little bit of like panic in his eyes at this point. He's watched Nathaniel go down, and now he's seen Minnie go down, and Minnie is in charge. And so he's not super sure what to do, but he knows that his mission was to get Alara. So he's going to take an attack of opportunity as he leaves Varys's, what's it called?
18 to hit.
Meets it, beats it.
That is 14 points of slashing damage.
Holy shit.
Varys kind of wails on him in the back in return for the stab he got in his back.
Gringor's looking fucked up.
Good.
But he presses on. He's going to grapple Alara. So they're going to make contested strength throws. With very little effort, lifts her under her arms, pulls him to her, and kind of lifts her off her feet. So he's holding her like around her midsection. He pulls out one of the poison daggers and throws it to the floor in like a weird show of good faith. But then he pulls the other dagger out and puts it up to her throat. He looks at the wolf, and then he looks at Varys because he doesn't expect he's going to get much from the wolf. And he goes, okay, we can talk about this. I don't want to kill her, but I will. Call your wolf off.
That is Varys' turn.
She's not mine to call off. But I warn you, if you harm her again, I can guarantee you that no one here is leaving alive. I will eviscerate you.
The wolf snarls in affirmative.
He stands there and he lets his rage drop. And he waits.
Varys, roll intimidation.
Well, it's gotta be 24.
Wow. I think he takes in a stuttered breath and he lowers, like you see that the dagger was like not piercing her skin, but it was putting a little bit of pressure. And he lessens his grip on her, and so that she falls, her feet touch the floor again because he was kind of hoisting her up, and removes the pressure from her neck. But he's holding her because she's his only bargaining piece right now, you know?
I think when Varys sees him do that, he's like, smart.
Okay, that is Alara's turn.
Okay, so Alara slips this gem, this compulsion gem, out of her sleeve, and she takes out a piece that she uses to carve runes, and she's going to make the connecting piece to activate this compulsion gem. You all watch in a 30-foot radius, I'm gonna say. The gem glows for a second, and then this pink mist kind of explodes in the air around everyone. And I need Nate and Gringor to make a wisdom save of 15 or higher.
Well, Nate fails with a 11.
Gringor got a 3. As this pink mist of like magic kind of shoots out from the gem, I think it's like pulsing with the pink color. She's going to compel Nathaniel to walk out of Ivy's range over to next to Varys. So Ivy can take a opportunity attack.
She's gonna. Does a 17 hit?
Oh yeah. But I didn't even get to cast mage armor yet.
9 points of damage as she swipes at his ankle as he goes by, because she's still got Minnie in her mouth and she's not letting go.
Nice. So you all watch as Nate starts to move towards Varys, almost in like this stilted way, like a puppet on invisible strings, because the spell says that he has to move away from Alara. And so you watch, he's like gritting his teeth as if he's fighting with all his might, but no control. And then Gringor drops Alara and also moves to stand in front of Varys.
On a silver platter.
Okay, Minnie is going to make a death saving throw. Ooh, she fails with a 2. So now that is Nate's turn.
So his compulsion, can he save from it right now? Try to?
He can make a wisdom save to try to end the effect. So he's used his action. No, he's only used his movement.
13 for wisdom.
Fails. He's still compelled.
So the wolf watches Nate and Gringor move toward Varys, and I think she drags Minnie over to the fire and stands over her, very much like guarding the body.
Okay.
And then you watch as she barks this bright, like misty light, and I need everybody to make perception checks.
Oh boy. Everybody?
Yeah.
Ooh. Alara got a 16. Gringor got a 6.
Cool.
Nate got a 4, and Varys got a 16.
Hey, me too.
Varys and Alara notice that the navy mist forms right behind Gringor into the form of a black wormling dragon.
Holy shit.
Because my spell,
What the fuck?
my spell Conjure Animals lets me conjure one beast of a challenge rating 2, but it rolled a pretty high initiative, so it's gonna have to wait to go. But the wolf barks again, and that is her turn. It is now Gringor's turn.
We're just gonna ignore the fact that Wolf summoned a fucking little dragon.
Okay, so Gringor doesn't see this thing get conjured, but I think what he does see is the shadow cast by the fire, and he whips around to see it, and I think he jumps and almost drops his sword and takes a step closer to Varys without thinking, and then looks at Varys and then back to the wormling, and he goes, "What the fuck? What the fuck is that?"
Varys holds out his arms nonchalantly as if he warned him about this.
Like the shrug emoji, just
Essentially. Because he passed his perception check. He saw it be conjured.
He goes, I didn't take this job to die. I'm not dying for this job. Nate, what the fuck are we doing? And I don't think he attacks. Oh, he's got to make a wisdom save to see if he breaks free of the compulsion. No, that's an 8. So he's still compelled. That's his turn.
all right. Varys, that is your turn.
I think he looked at them and says, "This is your last chance. Do you surrender, or am I going to have to kill you?" And I think he holds his action
To attack who?
to attack first person who attacks, whether that be Nate or Gringor, because they're both within range. So
Both the wormling and the wolf are not about this stalemate business. So the wormling is going to, with a growl, bite down on Gringor's calf.
Crunch through the metal.
For a 17 plus 4,
Hits.
so 9, 11 points of damage plus
Plus,
4 points of acid damage. So 15
He's
points
down.
altogether.
I think the dragon bites into his leg. You hear the crunch as the metal breaks his bone and then is kind of still hard around it. And I think maybe as the dragon pulls away, it rips his legs out from under him and he hits the floor and he's unconscious. And Alara yells, "Ivy, enough! Please stop!"
The sound of the watch in your pocket, Varys, gets louder.
What the fuck?
Alara, make a persuasion check.
I got a 14.
Make an insight check, Alara.
10.
Dusty, what does Alara get?
Alara gets that the only thing on the wolf's mind currently is to kill the people who are trying to kill Alara.
Great.
Next in the initiative is Minnie, who's going to make a death saving throw. She succeeded. Okay, so after Minnie, it is now Nate's turn.
Okay. Is it an action or a bonus action to feed somebody a potion?
Bonus action. I say it's a bonus action.
I think Nate's gonna burn a bonus action and feed Minnie a healing potion. So he crouches down and just like uncorks it, and the regular one that he has,
Technically, he has to get past the wolf to do so.
he'll risk it.
He has to either leave Varys's range or go next to the wolf.
Because the wolf, it's between the wolf and the fire. Minnie is between the wolf and fire currently.
So she's guarding Minnie. He can't give it to her anyway. I think assessing the situation that he would risk getting attacked both from leaving this monster of a man's side and from going over to the literal monster guarding Minnie's body. I think that he realizes that that's too much risk at the moment. There's no sense getting her up only for him to go down. And they're almost out of potions, so I think that you watch him do these quick evaluations in his head. Ivy does a 15 hit?
It does.
Well, Ivy, you watch as he does a series of hand motions, and the air around his hand begins to glow with a subtle red, and you watch 1, 2, and 3 motes of flame, and he biffs it at all 3 of them at you.
Okay.
Each of them are 2d6, so...
Scorching Ray,
Yep, he says he casts Scorching Ray.
12 points.
That's 8 plus 9 plus 12.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh. 29.
So you watch as these motes of fire pelt into the wolf, and with a cry, she dissipates in this cascade of navy smoke, and laying on top of Minnie's body
Mother.
is Ivy. Did Nate realize that this was Ivy?
He did not know that this was Ivy.
You tell me what Nate does when he sees that this attacked bone wolf is Ivy.
I think you just watch his mouth fall open. He's like, what in the lycanthropy fuck is this?
I forgot that he thinks she's a fucking werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. I wrote it in his notes.
I wrote it in his diary. That is now Ivy's turn.
Well, what does Ivy think? She doesn't remember the fight, right?
She remembers watching Alara get punched.
Oh boy, and that was it?
And then now she's in this. I think she's pretty good at piecing things together very rapidly, which is how she's so good at perception. So I think she uses half her movement to stand, looks down, sees Minnie on the ground bleeding, looks at Gringor, who is on the ground, looks at the black wormling.
Oh, is it concentration, or are they just do they just stay?
It is.
You have to be a DC of 14.
It's a dirty 20 anyways.
Okay, nice.
I think the wormling wavers for a moment, but then stays, adding to Nate's confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I think she assesses the situation, looks around, looks at Alara, makes sure that she's okay. Does Alara look fucked up?
Alara looks like she has 8 hit points. Her shirt is soaked in blood from the stomach wounds, and her hand is actively leaking blood. Her nose is swollen, her eyes are bruising, and on top of all that, she looks sickly because she's poisoned.
Okay.
She's also about to take 2d4 poison damage in a minute.
At the start of her turn.
Yeah.
Does Nate look fucked up?
Yeah. He looks like he could take another hit and then help you.
Another hit. You watch as Navy Mist forms over Ivy's foot and she stomps on the ground, and the same tendrils of vines that shot out from the wolf shot out, wrap itself around Nate. He has to make a Constitution saving throw of 15 or better.
It's 14 on the die plus 3.
Okay. So he takes 4 points of necrotic damage, and then the vine dissipates and rolls over to Alara and rolls up her leg and heals her with an unspent hit die plus 4.
Hey, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You watch as the wound where the poison was starts to close up. Both of them do, but they don't close all the way because she's actively poisoned still, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
And then she is going to face step to Alara, and I need Nate to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 9.
Yeah. So now he's frightened. Okay, so that is Gringor. Gringor, roll me a death saving throw.
Death save. Is it anything, or is it just a roll, or is it plus?
It's
your
a
con?
straight. It's a straight.
8.
You fail one.
Aw, Gringy.
That is now Varys' turn.
I think with the blunt side of the pull of the scythe, he's gonna whack Nate in the back of the head.
Nice.
It definitely hits. It's a 17 to hit. And with a total of 8 points of damage, Nate goes down.
All right.
I think he stares at them for an uncomfortably long time.
At Nathaniel?
Yep.
Varys?
He looks up at her.
She kind of like makes eye contact with him. It doesn't say anything. She's going to go over to Minnie and try to stabilize her so that she's not having to make death saves. Natural 20 for a 23.
So she's up with 1 hit point.
Oh.
Minnie gasps awake and is very disoriented.
Alara jumps back because it wasn't her intention to like wake her up. I think she was just trying to like stabilize them. And she looks, I think she like whips her head up to Varys and then to Ivy because make insight checks maybe.
No.
13.
So Alara looks like a deer in the headlights, first of all. She's super pale because she's still poisoned. I need to take damage.
You need to make a con save too.
So do I take the damage and then take a con save?
Yep.
Okay. That's 6 points of poison damage. 5 on the die. It's a 9. So she's still poisoned. But she does look up, and she does look like a deer in the headlights. And I think that she jumps back a little bit from Minnie, not expecting that she was going to wake up. The look that she looks at you with, Varys, is like mixed with fear, but also uncertainty, because she doesn't know if you're gonna like try to murder Minnie again, you know?
I think he gets a rope from his pack and comes over to you and binds Minnie.
Okay.
And pulls her away from the fire.
Alara's gonna go over to Gringor next. He's gonna make a death save. He fails another death save. And she's gonna make a medicine check to stabilize him.
Nate needs to make a death save.
That's a 10 on her medicine.
Oh, you make it just barely.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 10 and above.
He's still unconscious.
Okay.
But Varys will go over and tie him up and drag him over directly beside, but near Minnie.
Nate needs to make another death save.
10.
So you pass.
Okay.
So you've done 2, right?
I've done 1 for Nate.
You need another one.
12. He passed 2.
Okay.
And Alara needs to take 2 more poison. Okay, Alara just took 8 more points of poison damage, and she failed her constitution save again.
So is she out?
So nope, she's still up. Ivy healed her a little bit before. So when she stands up from Gringor, she like stumbles a little bit and then walks over to Nate.
Well, Ivy's gonna walk over to you before you do that and like gently touch your shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
So it's 1d8 plus 4.
Oh, nice. That's 12 points back. So again, you see the wounds on her where the daggers hit start to close up, but they're still slightly, they won't close all the way because she's still poisoned. And Ivy, when you touch her shoulder, she jumps and her body tenses and she stares at you. And I think it takes her a second to like process that it's you before she like relaxes.
Like as soon as she feels that the healing is done, she withdraws.
Yeah.
She's not going to leave her hand there.
And then for Nate, that's a 10 again. So it's a 13 with her. So she stabilizes Nate too.
Varys will tie him too and drag him over. All of them are now sitting right at the foot of the warbling.
Oh, wow. Love that. So Ivy's holding concentration. Oh, because it is concentration, right? Ivy's holding concentration. How long does it stay? Does it just stay?
1 hour.
Until it dies? Wow. Love it. Okay. I think that she looks at them.
Who's them? Which them?
Ivy and Varys.
I think that he goes over to her immediately after setting the 3 of them down and starts like looking you over for injuries, wondering why you keep looking dizzy every time you stand up or what the fuck is going on. You're covered in blood. Where's the injury? Essentially.
Make a perception check?
Medicine.
Medicine? Oh, he's so good at that, guys.
What's Ivy doing?
I think Ivy's just watching. She's watching the 3, especially Minnie, who is awake, groaning, but awake.
16.
It takes you a second to kind of think about it, but you realize that when you got hit with the daggers, you felt something else, like some other sensation, trying to like worm its way in. I think you can deduce that it was poison and probably that Alara was not able to like shake it off. And so she's 100% poisoned. And speaking of,
I think that he looks at her, realizes what's going on, and looks at Ivy and says, Ivy, could you help me look around for an antidote?
Ivy's going to search the pockets of Nathaniel and Gringor.
Alara takes another 8 points of poison damage, and she has 2 hit points left.
I think Varys reaches into one of his pouches, takes out a greater healing potion, and puts it in Alara's hand. Take that. Give me a moment. I'm going to look around for an antidote. And he starts scavenging that camp. Investigation.
Okay. As you put the potion in her hand, Varys, she nods, like in agreement that she's going to take it. Your hand is wet and warm. And as you look down, you realize, I'm assuming you look down, yeah?
Oh, of course, yeah. That's weird.
You realize that her hand is profusely bleeding.
16 plus 2, 18 to search pockets. She's currently searching through Nathaniel and Grigor's pockets.
Yeah, so you search. You find in Minnie's pack a like rolled up piece of leather, and when you unroll it, it has 6 vials in it. 3 of them are empty and 3 of them are full. Make a nature check.
Oh, I'm good at that. 8 plus 5, 13.
Okay. With a 13, you realize that 2 of the vials contain what you're assuming is the poison that she uses to coat her daggers or to coat weapons in general. The other one, so you open it and it smells like, it does smell faintly of poison, but there's like a hint of medicinal herbs. It actually reminds you of sometimes when you would walk into your mother's lab when she was working.
Okay.
And you feel pretty confident.
She's going to take the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to grab the antidote, roll up the other 2, and stick it on the ground where they can, because she's not going to shove something into Alara's pockets right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to start walking over to Alara, uncorking the antidote.
Okay. And as you're walking, do you want to respond, Varys, to Alara's hand? Right now, you're holding her hand in your like kind of potion, Alara's hand, your hand, like you kind of, did that thing where you put it in her hand.
It's in her bad hand?
So I think when you put it in her hand, she flinches back from your touch, and it takes her a moment to register that it's you and kind of like what's happening. And when you put it in her hand, she takes her other hand and kind of like cups over it, and you feel this wet, warm sensation. And you look down and you realize that her hand is covered and is actively leaking blood.
I think that he stares at it, assesses the damage.
Make a medicine check.
I say that he's terrible at this because he doesn't have a plus to medicine, but he's rolling decently. It's a 17.
Yeah, so you look down and you see that the wound goes clear through her hand. There's like a hole in her hand. And as you process that information, it's weird. You feel a twinge of pain that kind of like stabs at your right hand. Like, if you have like an old scar, an old wound that sometimes it can like throb with pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get.
Varys, as you look at her hand and try to assess the damage, you stop. Because your focus is brought to that twinge of pain stabbing at your own hand, in a place where another of your forms has a similar scar. You blink, and suddenly the hand you're gazing down on isn't Alara's, but it's not Varys's either. The skin is darker, the scar on his wrist old and deep. This is the hand of another of your forms. You're bleeding, pain searing through the wound in your own hand, where a dagger pinned you to the ground not moments before. Another blink, and suddenly you're loosening a corset as she struggles to breathe, getting blood all over her dress. She winces, and you know her bare knees are scraping against the rock beneath you both as she moves towards you, noticing that you're injured. Sounds hit you then. Rushing water to your right. The river, in Palebrook. Her hands are warm and steady, if not a bit firm, as she takes your wounded hand in her own, applying a salve. You look up and see Alara, cheeks wet with tears. She smiles and tells you,
Stay still. It'll only sting for a second.
And in that moment, recognition hits. She seemed familiar this whole time. You've met before. Only you couldn't remember. And now as you blink again, holding her very injured hand in your own, the memories slam into you, threatening to bring you to your knees. Every detail of that night, and some others. the ones you chose to keep. For safety or selfishness, you're not entirely sure.
I think his memories come and go in pulsing in waves, in rapid flashes. It's almost so overstimulating that he's getting nauseous. So he lets go of Alara's hand and steps away and like starts to shake his head, but his eyes are clouded over. He's not focusing, and he doesn't want to hurt her, so he's giving distance as he's hearing conversations as if they're through a tunnel. Some are discordant laughter of joy, some are soul-wracking sobs and pleading not to go, don't do this. There's more laughter and playful teasing, and there's arguments and things, just so many different voices and tones and memories going through that he can't. It gets to the point where he's so overwhelmed he can't discern what is reality and what isn't anymore. And he just kind of sinks to his knees and like focuses on the ground.
Ivy, you pull this antidote, super sure that this is going to help Alara. And you turn and you look up and you see Varys frozen, holding Alara's hand. As you walk towards, he drops her hand, steps back, sinks to his knees, and Alara is just standing there in a daze. What do you do?
She rushes over. She quickly hands Alara the uncorked antidote and says, drink this. It's for the poison.
She has the health potion in her bleeding left hand. She takes the antidote with her right hand, and you see that the health potion is still corked closed, and she swallows the antidote.
She reaches over and uncorks the
perfect
healing potion.
She downs it, and I did roll before all of that happened, and she got like 4, 8, she got 16 points of health back.
Nice. Good.
So she immediately, you see Ivy. The only reason you know that the hand wound closes is because the blood stops seeping through.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of like takes a deep breath. And I think her eyes go from the 3 over there. She just looks at Varys confused because I think she's still trying to get her bearings.
I think Ivy is going to hold up her hand, and you see the navy mist encircle it. I think whenever she casts Cure Wounds, it's sort of like flecked with the color of healing.
So it would be red.
So it turns a little purple, and you know this to be like her Cure Wounds. And she holds up her hand. She's not going to touch you right now. She's holding up her hand, like slowly reaching towards you to give you enough time to know that she's going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think she touches your bad hand.
Okay, so she touches the back of it?
Yeah, to center the healing on that. So you get 1d8 plus 4.
Amazing. 9 points. You see like the color starts to, I mean, she's got 2 black eyes, and I feel like her face is probably swollen because she got knocked around, but the color starts to return a little bit. She goes to like wipe her eye and she winces.
No.
Thank you so much.
She nods, and then she withdraws her hand and wipes the blood off on her pant leg. Just sort of nonchalantly, I think.
Yeah.
And she turns to Varys and she's like, Varys?
You see his eyes. You know when someone's rapidly reading something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that motion, but he's looking at the ground.
She's going to take a step forward, loudly. Varys?
There's no answer.
Another loud step forward. She is telegraphing her every fucking movement for these two.
Aw, Ivy.
I feel so bad.
I want to hug them both, like, so badly.
I'm gonna make him make a... What kind of check would it be to try to get his bearings back?
Wisdom?
Wisdom.
Yeah.
No. It's a 6.
Baby boy.
He's still lost. And the closer you get to him, the more that you realize that his eyes are swimming, as if he's recalling information way too quickly. And he's really pale, like super pale, like way beyond the gray
Okay.
that usually is.
I think she approaches and gets on her knees in front of him, steeling herself for an attack that might come. She reaches up with the Cure Wounds on her hand, and she's going to burn her last level 1 spell slot and place her hand. She's going to use both of her hands on the side of his face and force him to look up gently.
Oh, I don't know if she wants to look at them. So when she lifts his head, his eyes are they're not focused at all.
He does get 1d8 plus 4 back on healing.
That's awesome.
She's hoping that the magic will shake him out of,
Yeah.
because she has a very distinct magical signature.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So he's back to full.
Bia flies down
Aw, Bia.
and lands next to Ivy and starts chittering at Varys.
So I think amidst, I'm going to make a wisdom save again. I'm going to do it at advantage with Bia and the spell. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. With a 19,
Nice.
I think that you, amidst the discordant images and memories and voices and feelings and smells that he's being overwhelmed with right now, he hears the chittering and he faintly feels the feeling of Ivy's magic.
Mm-hmm.
That's not from these memories. That's new.
Very much not.
Yeah. So he reaches out and he grabs, like, essentially from his mind, he focuses on that and the chittering. And eventually you stop seeing the eyes move so fast and they slow. And then they close and he just kind of puts both hands on the ground and just stays there for a second.
She's still holding, like, the sides of his head.
His breathing is ragged.
I think she waits a couple seconds and she goes, Varys,
Ivy.
you good?
I love her so much. You good?
I think he kind of chuckled a bit. I am now. Ivy, make a perception check for me.
25.
The perception
Whoa.
check? Ivy, you hear the sound of gears whirring.
Oh my god.
Out of control.
She looks down at his pocket.
I think he sits back a bit, a little bit of color returning, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out Alara's watch. And you see all 3 arms are spinning out of control.
Is that Alara's watch?
They nod.
Alara, I thought your watch was broken.
She's still staring at Minnie and Nate and Gringor, but she kind of jumps and then she looks over to Ivy. What? She comes over.
Alara, your watch is not only moving, but it is moving so quickly you can barely see the hands on the face of it.
She takes it. Who has it, Varys?
Yep, he's holding it. He hands it out. He holds it out to her.
It doesn't work. She hits it. No, I don't know. Maybe it got knocked around or something when in all this commotion.
Varys nods.
Are you okay? She looks at Varys.
You're asking me, are you alright? And you? He looks at Ivy.
I think we can agree that we're all fucked up.
He nods.
Except Dragon 1 and Dragon 2. Did I summon that, by the way? Or did one of you? Or...
Oh, you did. For sure.
You did.
Okay, we're going to talk about that later.
We certainly are.
We're going to digest that later.
How's your hand?
Oh, it's fine. And she makes a fist. I don't know if it'll work as good as it did before, but I guess we'll find out. What are we gonna do?
I think as he looks from her over to Minnie and the other 3, I don't think you'll like what I'm going to say.
And I don't think you'll like what I'm going to agree with.
Well, first of all, just say it because I don't ask questions if I don't want the answers to them.
No, I know.
Lara, why are they coming after you?
It's the book. My book of runes, I guess. And apparently my jacket now too.
Just those 2 things?
Well, and me too, I guess. I'll explain in detail later. I owe you both at least that.
Ivy nods.
We're not gonna kill them.
I don't think it's a good idea to let them go.
They'll just keep coming back.
No, they won't. No, you won't, right? And she looks at Minnie.
Ilara, I don't think, even if they aren't the ones to find us, I think more people will follow. However, these 3 in particular know more than I would be comfortable
They know a lot more.
letting you know.
So we just murder them? They're tied up.
They would have done the same to us.
If we let them go, there's every chance that they'll tell somebody. About Ivy's form, about my changing.
About your jacket and your book of runes. About my portal that I opened in front of the wizard.
So, we just murder people if they find out too much about us?
Laura, what is the alternative? We let them go and they tell everyone?
No, they don't tell anyone. They promise us that they won't tell anyone. They made a mistake. They didn't know what they were getting into. We're obviously way stronger than they are, right? They would be stupid to come back.
Or they bring reinforcements.
We're not murderers. This isn't
killing in cold blood, Alara. This is protecting us. They're not innocents.
They were going to kill you.
Okay, right. And so just because someone tries to kill me, that means that I should kill them? Is that?
Not to be a bitch, but yes, that is generally how that works.
Okay, and then what stops you from becoming like somebody like them who will just kill people?
Because you do it to survive. You do it in self-defense. You don't do it for money or fame
or notoriety or because you feel like it. We're not doing this because we feel like it, Alara. We're doing this to save us.
How do we know that they won't come back? If they say that they'll leave us alone.
Why do you have trust in somebody who is willing to kill us?
Because I don't want to kill people.
Then close your eyes.
You don't have to do it.
This is my fault.
It's not your fault.
Yes, it is.
It's their fault, and they fucked around and they're going to find out.
They are the ones who took this job.
And it seemed a little personal. And they were smart. Smart enough.
They weren't that smart.
If it wasn't for the two of us, they would have gotten away with it. And I heard them, Alara.
If it wasn't...
They said you had to be alive, but they didn't say in what state. Do you really think you were going to get wherever you needed to go in one piece? One way or another, they were going to severely alter your entire life.
Okay, so I'm going to turn around and you both are going to just murder 3 people who are tied up and defenseless. Because I dragged you into following me into a stupid mess because I stole a stupid book.
I distinctly remember asking you multiple times if I could join you. There was no dragging involved. We've all done stupid shit. That doesn't mean that you should have your life threatened for it.
And it doesn't mean that we murder people.
This isn't murdering, Alara. This is self-defense. Now, unless either of you have a way of altering their memories or making them forget that they ever had us to begin with...
The amount of magic that would take to get rid of the amount of time is astronomical. You would need to be able to cast 9th tier magic. Or at least 8th.
But what does it matter? You already said that they were hired to find me, right? So if they don't bring me back, then they'll just send other people. So are we just going to kill every person that comes after? Is that just... There has to be another solution.
What is the other solution, Alara? If somebody is trying to kill you, you have to treat them in kind.
We give them a chance, and we have some faith and belief that this scary thing that just happened to them will make them think twice about coming after us again.
People react in 2 different ways to this alarm. From my experience, they either, like you said, become too scared to do anything, to try again, or they get angry.
Lara, the people I know that are contracted to go out and find somebody don't give up. That is the nature of these contracts.
She gestures to the 3 of them, sitting on the ground tied up, 2 unconscious and 1 barely conscious. And she goes, Philip and Avery Abraxos think that I am just a fantastical scientist who somehow, I guess, got her hands on a book. They did not hire tier 5 mages to come get me. Minnie is their niece. They probably just figured it would be a 1, 2, 3 thing. These are not criminal masterminds. We may as well go kill the councilman Yolan Safandaris then, right?
So, Laura, by that justification, so we let these 3 go back and tell the Abraxas family just exactly what we can do and who we are, so that they can hire those tier 5 mages to come after us?
Forget tier 5 mages. It would be so much worse than that.
Are there paladins in this world?
No.
You are overestimating this situation. I will give them the book.
And your jacket?
If I have to give them, yes.
And your person?
No, they just...
Are these people in positions of power?
Yes and no. I mean...
You wouldn't survive.
They just probably lost track of Aiden again, and they think that I know where they are, and I don't. So they would ask me and be really rude and mean, and then they would just tell me, let me go. They're not gonna murder me.
Unfortunately, you don't know that.
In my experience, there are things much worse than death.
If it was me, I would hope that someone would give me a second chance. Wouldn't you want the same?
I think that he takes a moment to, mull that over. Because, yeah, of course he would. He's gotten one, and he doesn't fucking deserve it, and he knows it. Lara, as much as I can appreciate that, we gave her a second chance. And she said, I can still bring your dead body back, so fuck it. Before firing a shitload of daggers at you. So...
Ivy stands when she hears that.
Right, and now they know full well that we are way more capable than they are.
I think Varys gets up and he walks over to the 3. And he he gently shakes awake Nate and Gringor. And gets Minnie and snaps his fingers in front of Minnie to get her to focus. I think he crouches in front of them. Give me a good reason not to kill you. Convince me why I should let you go. And that you'll never speak a word of this to anyone.
Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S., if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat and after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pause is here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye!
This
He's
is
a
the second
sleepy
comment
boy.
where Nate took a little nappy.
Nate's just
Wow, she
unconscious on
doesn't
the
even
ground.
heal her lover? What a brutal bitch. Wow. 4d4 plus 4.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank my index card right here.
I love your index card. Starts seeping into Minnie's skin as
Gross.
I roll an attack.
Necrotic sludge. I don't think I've ever heard those words before.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I'm a master of words.
I love it.
I'm a wordsmith.
I'm a wordsmith.
It's a shame Nate isn't level 5 because he could have counterspelled that.
In hindsight, you could have made him level 5.
Yeah.
Grapple Alara.
What is this man doing?
I will shove him in the fire and hold him. What is he doing?
I'm like, this man is a special kind of stupid, huh?
Yeah.
So, I guess you tell me what Gringor does, Alara. Ari. So many names right now attributed to so many people.
I know.
And my spell save is... I don't know. Let's find out. How do I spells? How does the spell save DC work?
How do I
What?
spells?
How do I
Depends. Do you think that this would warrant advantage, Ivy?
I got a 14.
Well, Ivy's not here right now. It's the wolf and it's Dusty.
So no, I don't think it would.
I mean, I think he can if he wants to take an attack of opportunity.
Does he have
from
mage
the
hand?
wolf?
What?
Does he have mage hand?
Don't go.
No, he does not.
A wizard without mage hand.
Yeah, I don't.
That's like a druid without proficiency in medicine.
I literally never take mage hand for a wizard ever. Never, ever.
I was like, wait a minute. I know a druid without proficiency in medicine.
What do I add to
No,
that?
I don't. Why do we never remember how is it just beat? How
So you roll a d20, add your con modifier.
Okay.
My con?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, because 14 is like the HP.
It's either 10. The DC is either set by 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher.
I will never remember how.
So we're gonna do this every single time.
Yeah. And Alara is on her knee, like she's back down on the ground. I think. I don't remember. She might be on the ground. Maybe. I don't remember.
Well, make a decision. Or do it both ways.
Yeah. And she's on the ground on her knees. And then I just won't say it if she's not on the ground. She uncorks it. And as
it's already been uncorked.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's not triple corked.
She goes to reach for a cork and it's not there.
She goes to reach for a cork and it's like,
we're doing this to save us.
How do you know?
Varys.
No.
And we're going to take a break and get into our other characters' headspace.
I already know what Minnie's doing right now.